Hi, everybody. Okay, so I received an email from the Court of Appeals bench or Court of Appeals Manitoba, um, and it's from Charlotte Benedictson, I think. She says, and I wrote her earlier on asking for some information. So I wrote her saying, as previously mentioned, attached is the judge's disposition sheet with the decision she's made on February 23rd, 2023. My question is, why is the order located in the King of Courts bench registry file under number FD 1901 23246 instead of listed with the rest of the appeal hearing decisions, which shows online the reason for decisions when clicking the link. I have yet to receive anything in writing in regards to the reason for the decision from the judge. Please forward that on to me, as I do intend to ask for an extension of time to file an appeal to this recent motion and would like all the facts and documents. Charlotte writes back, "Good morning, Miss Miazga. The judge provided the reasons orally in court, which is why no written decision is available on the website." Well, normally when a judge makes a ruling, they provide the reason orally, but they always follow it up with a written reason. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's part of law that they need to. Um, it um, when I was visiting the legal clinic, they did say that I could request a written decision, like why a decision was made, like what was the rationale for the decision. So for that to be denied to me, and they say, "Oh well, it was oral." Well, that's not right. And the problem with a transcript is judges can redact certain things. So for the Court of Appeals to say, well, order a transcript, well, fine. I spend tons of money, which I don't have, creating undue hardship for me to get a transcript that is redacted, and I still don't have the information I need. So um, for them to say that I can't get a written decision when every other court case under the Court of Appeals, um, in the Court of Appeals has one, is discrimination. You can't single out somebody and say, "Oh, well, you're not entitled to it," meanwhile providing it for everybody else. Um, she goes on to say, if you would like to obtain a copy of the transcript of the judge's reasons, you'd have to order it through the Royal Reporting. In response to your question about the Court of Appeal order being located on the Court of King's Bench file, it is because the copy was sent to them to be placed on their file, as that is where it will be enforced. Okay, so why is my file being enforced under the King of Courts bench while other people's aren't? You can't say that there's something extremely unique about my file, because we'll go over the Court of Appeals recent decisions, and you'll see a variety of different things, none of which are unique to my file. Okay, so I write back saying, "Charlotte, with all due respect, the judge provided her reasons orally in court with all cases, I'm sure. However, it is only mine that isn't on the appeal registry under recent judgments, not even in the chambers area, as indicated in your previous email, and only mine that a link is not provided with written explanation. It is my understanding that written explanation of a ruling is a legal part of any ruling. I am asking for written explanation from the judge for the reason why she ruled the way she did. I will be taking this to the CJC again if I don't receive a written response to the ruling." Um, So we're going to look at the other documents. So this is the motion disposition sheet. So the most important thing on this one right now is the court file number. So look at the court file number. It's a Court of Appeal bench file number. And it even says right at the top, in the Court of Appeal. So for them to put this on the King of Courts bench, I understand that they might put it there. Um, I understand that they might put it there and might enforce it there, but it still should be listed on the appeal registry. And a link to why the judge made that decision still should be there. So this is the second um, motion for an appeal that I made, which also was denied. This is the Court of Appeal um, recent judgments list. So anytime you go on, say we click on the first name, 295 Gary Street Inc. versus whatever that is. Um, if you click on that, it will show you why the judge made the decision that they did. And that's the same for all of them. Now, there's a bunch of different things here. So you see name versus name, which is probably a family file. Um, Down here under recent chamber decisions, where Charlotte previously, or somebody in the Court of Appeals indicated where my hearing was heard. So this is the area where we should find it. They can't say it was because it's confidential, because maybe some child family issues, which is not the case in this particular case. But see, even that is shown here. Child and family services stuff is extremely confidential, but they still put it under the recent decisions. And I've clicked on there, and the link, it works. I know because I've actually printed off the stuff. But you know, it's interesting. Why would why would my file be excluded off of here if it was heard in the Court of Appeals and there is a recent judgment on it, hence the disposition sheet? Why is it not listed? I would I'm guessing that the reason why it's not listed is because they know my constitutional rights were violated. They know that by listing it, they would have to explain why they are not, um, why the judge feels that I shouldn't be allowed my constitutional rights. And that leads into dictatorship, because if a judge says, well, I'm not going to uphold the laws of this country, if a judge says I'm just going to ignore um, all the laws that our country's leaders have put into place and do my own thing, that's no longer a democracy. That's a dictatorship. That is somebody enacting their own personal views, their own personal opinions on on a case, instead of relying on um, constitution, laws, and what our country was founded on. Like, so I can understand why they would try to hide this, because that is exactly what is it's looking like. Now, I'm not sure if that's what's intended, but it is definitely what it is looking like. It looks like they're trying to hide it by denying me access to a written decision on why the judge made the decision they did on both of the appeals. And it also looks like it's hiding, um, because they haven't even listed it in the recent decisions. Anyways, um, I think that's it for right now. Yeah, we've gone over the disposition sheet. We've gone over the recent judgments. And I mean, if you want to take a look at, if you want to take a look at um, the recent judgments, the website is right at the bottom of the page here. It is, if you go to manitobacourts.mb.ca/courts slash, sorry, let's start that again. Manitoba Courts, period, mb.ca/courts -of-peel /recent judgments, and go to that website and you will find the recent judgments for the Court of Appeal. And although a recent judgment was made where costs were awarded against me and my motion dismissed, it is not on the registry as a recent decision. Why is that when all the others are? I've actually spoken with a lawyer out of town, and they said that this isn't even legal. Like I showed them all the paperwork, and they told me that this is not even legal. And the idea that a lawyer told me that, and they said they can't get involved, but they said that it's not right. So, um, if it comes down to it and I need to subpoena them later, I suppose I could, but like, uh, um, it's what the Manitoba court system is doing right now. It's not right. I should be getting a written decision for both of the appeal hearings, and um, the recent judgment. If a recent judgment was made where I am having costs awarded against me under the Court of Appeal, then it should be under the recent judgments, whether it be right in this main area or in chambers. It doesn't matter. But if a recent decision was made on my file, it should be listed here.